Good afternoon. This is Lane Dashko. This is Sports Talk with Lane. Today we are going to be talking about Floyd Money Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. The biggest and best fight of the year. It was the fight of the century, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about here on Google Hangouts, and we'll be talking about also what's been going on in the hockey, where we think things are going to be going. But what a fight tonight between Floyd Money Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Wow, it went the full 12 rounds, back and forth. I mean, a lot of people are going to sit there and say that Manny Pacquiao definitely had an advantage when it comes to fighting. Everyone thought that Floyd Money Mayweather was the man that was going to win this fight. But Manny Pacquiao seemed to have a little bit of an edge at some points. When he got him in the ropes, he got landing punches, but Floyd in his quick speed sometimes would get in and out and move in and out of his punches. And what an incredible fight it was. I mean, I think that everybody there knew that this fight was going to be something special. And indeed it was. It was just one of the best fights of the year. It'll probably be the fight of the century, a fight that everybody thought was looking forward to seeing, because it's just such a fight that you knew it was going to be one of the best fights coming up, because it was been talked about for the last few years, and people were saying, Floyd's scared to fight Manny Pacquiao. Floyd doesn't want to fight him because he kept dodging his fights, and they kept going back and forth and back and forth, and Manny Pacquiao kept saying, I can beat him. And tonight, he put up one hell of a fight. Believe me, he put up one hell of a fight. But it just wasn't good enough tonight. I'm so surprised that Floyd Money Mayweather got that win, because I kind of thought for a minute there that Manny Pacquiao had the advantage. I mean, it looked like there were some good punches that he landed, and I wasn't really sure who was going to come away with this fight, and there you have it. It turns out that Floyd Money Mayweather is the winner. The only question is now is, where do we go from here? What's going to happen now for Floyd Money Mayweather, sitting at 48-0, one of the best boxing streaks in the world. He'll definitely be a Hall of Famer. He'll be an all-time legend. I mean, there's no doubts to saying what Floyd Money Mayweather can do inside that ring. He is a phenomenal boxer. And we saw that here tonight. The way he performed, the way he showed up, and he kept pushing Manny Pacquiao to his limits and making him miss his punches. And then we saw Floyd Money Mayweather kind of use his strategy, use his defense, use his knowledge of his boxing. Everyone says, Floyd Money Mayweather, he's one gigantic jackass, but he shows up. That guy trains harder than any other boxer in the world, and he showed up tonight. And I'm not surprised one bit. One bit. Floyd Money Mayweather is the best boxer of all time. Maybe not in retrospect, that's hard to say because there's Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. But I mean, as of right now, in this current modern age, yes, Floyd Money Mayweather is the best boxer of all time. There's no disputing it, because even if he loses one fight, even if he loses just one fight, does that mean that he's not the best because he lost one fight? I mean, you got to think he's probably, if he keeps fighting all the time, he's probably going to lose eventually anyways. but he hasn't. He faces every challenge he gets, and he puts a test, and he wins. Whether he wins by knockout or unanimous decision, and sometimes, people will say, oh, unanimous decision is fixed. It's just what the judges want. But he stands the test of time. He seems to come away with the win. Excuse me. And it was a fight that everybody was looking forward to. They're going to keep talking about it. There'll be replays on TSN. There will be so many things coming towards this fight. It was just an all-out battle. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on from now. To see what happens now that the fight's over and we put all this behind us, and we look to see what Floyd Money Mayweather is going to do next. Sorry, everybody, got to charge my laptop. But it will be interesting to see where Floyd Money Mayweather goes now. What's his next challenge? I mean, we all thought that facing Manny Pacquiao was probably his biggest challenge because he kept, like everyone said, he kept dodging Soda Call. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens now. It'll be interesting to see where Floyd Money Mayweather takes his talents now, to see if he keeps fighting, to see if he doesn't give up on his fighting, even though he's got really nothing to prove at this point. But it was a good fight. And I'm glad that I watched it. To try to get more people on this live podcast edition of Sports Talk with Lane. We're also going to talk about the NHL and what a match that was today between the Washington Capitals and the New York Rangers. I mean, Ovechkin came out and he tried once again to be the most dominant player in the series, and he just wasn't good enough this time. Oh, Alain Vigneault went in the room after the game one and said, we're going to stop. We're going to make sure that Ovechkin can't get any more points. That was it. There's no more. We're going to let Ovechkin in. He got a lot of shots and he even got an assist, but at the end of the day, it just wasn't good enough. I mean, they were able to fight back in the third period in a 3-2 match, and it just seemed like the Rangers wanted to take game two because they knew that if there's going to be a good series, if they want to get to the Stanley Cup, they're going to need to step it up and win this game. By the way, going back to Mayweather and Pacquiao, the Sports Recall just tweeted that Mayweather landed 148 out of 435 punches, and Pacquiao only landed 81 out of 429. So once again, that shows you that just kind of shows you what kind of a fight this actually was. It's going to be talked about for days. The other question is, what's next for Manny? And that's another question. What's next for Manny Pacquiao? There's another question there. What does Manny Pacquiao do now? Because he's getting up there in age. Like he's only 2 years younger than Floyd Money Mayweather. He's another boxer with an outstanding record. And it's just like, what does he do now? What change can he make now? He lost tonight in an unfortunate loss. He lost his title. And I think there's going to be a rematch between these two. I don't think it's over. To be quite honest with you, I think we're going to see a Mayweather and Pacquiao rematch. And I hope we do. This isn't like a wrestling match where it's The Rock and John Cena where, there's a bunch of BS going on. No, this is two real men who have a rivalry, who get in a boxing ring and punch each other, trying to punch each other out and win championships. And it's real. And if this is such a good rivalry and people all over the world took this fight in, this could be a special fight if it's done again. If Pacquiao can get some more training now that he's faced him once, come back and face him again. We've seen Floyd Money Mayweather face guys multiple times. And it would be interesting to see if we could see him do it again. As it all pours in that Floyd Money Mayweather was the biggest winner of the night. And people are really calling this the fight of the century. It's hard to argue with them, because it kind of is. It's kind of one of the biggest fights to ever be played, and it was just such a good fight. It was. I don't know what else to say. Like, there's nothing really to say. That it was just one of those fights that, if you didn't watch it, you lost out. But if you paid $99, you lost out. In a way. Like, I don't know. For me, I don't think that's worth $99. I really don't. But to each his own. If you want to pay $99 and watch just pay-per-view instead of streaming it at home, I know you can always, I know it blocks out a lot and you miss half the fight, but at least you saved $99. Hard to argue with that, but I still think it was a good fight either way, whether you paid the money or not. It was a fight that was worth to see. So for tomorrow, the Toronto Blue Jays will be having the day. The Toronto Blue Jays will play the Cleveland Indians today. They won 11-4, and they'll wrap it up against Cleveland tomorrow. And they'll face the Yankees starting on Monday through to Wednesday. And the Blue Jays are one of these teams where you can already tell that they're losing a lot of their games. And we've already talked about this, that the majority of the games they lose is because of their poor pitching. They got to fix this. This has to be fixed. This can't go on to the Toronto Blue Jays. They can't keep pitching like crap and expect to win. It's not going to work. And I don't know why they think they can keep doing the same thing. They just sent Norris down, and now they have limited pitchers now with Dickey and Burley and they don't even have Stroman pitching. And I just don't know what the Toronto Blue Jays are going to do. They got to improve. They need to find a pitcher that they can try to trade for or pick up on waivers or something, because that's what's going to be killing them all season long. We've already seen it. This team gets like 5-6 runs a game. If they had amazing pitching, there wouldn't be a problem with this team. There wouldn't be a damn problem with this team. This team could be in the first in the AL East. They could be one of the most dominant teams in baseball. But they don't have pitching. And how many times have we talked about pitching winning you baseball games? It's ridiculous. And for NHL tomorrow night, we see the Montreal Canadiens facing the Minnesota Wild. I mean, Montreal Canadiens facing Tampa Bay, in Game 2 at the Bell Center. And again, this is going to be a crazy game because Montreal lost Game 1, and they in double overtime, and who knows who's going to win Game 2 at this point. If Carey Price loses Game 2, this could be a possible another Canadian team out of the playoffs. And Tampa Bay, the team who they beat last year without Ben Bishop, could be going to the conference semifinals. And then who knows who faces them there. But I think it's important that Montreal shows up tomorrow night. They need to show up. They have to play if they want to be alive in this series, because if they go down 2-0 going into the third or fourth games in Tampa Bay, you may as well kiss this playoff series goodbye. Because this isn't Ottawa. This isn't a team where you can kind of come back against because they're young and they're kind of talented. No, you need to beat this team. Tampa Bay will finish you off. And finally, for the NHL, we have Chicago versus Minnesota. Another game that was really close, but I still believe that Chicago has that kind of talent. Chicago has the team. They know this is their last chance. They know they have to try hard. They know that this is their last chance to get a cup. And I still believe that in the third round, we're going to see Chicago versus whoever wins between Anaheim and Calgary, which is looking like Anaheim unless Calgary pulls out a miracle. But, I mean, that's basically it for the NHL playoffs. So thanks for watching. I'll post this on my Facebook and my Twitter account. This was a special live edition of Lane Sports Talk with Lane. And we'll see you on Friday to talk about the rest of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed the fight. I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I hope you enjoy watching sports all week long. Good night.